Hi everyone, welcome. It's Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, so it's time for Stamping with Denise. I am so glad you're here tonight. Little bit of housekeeping. Please, if you like my video, please share my video, comment, share down in the comments, and you'll be entered to win the project I am working on tonight. Last week I showed you how to do this faux twisted paper technique. And because she shared and her name was drawn, this card's going to go out to Elizabeth Brown. So Elizabeth, I'll get this out to you here shortly. If you're watching on YouTube, welcome. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel. And once you do, click that little blue bell and you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. And that's usually on Monday evenings. So a lot of stuff going on in Stampin' Up world. There's a whole new change to the to the ordering system and things like that. Host codes don't exist anymore. Everybody has to have an online account with Stampin' Up. But the great thing is now you will earn stamping rewards for purchases as small as $20. Before, you had to hit a $150 threshold before you began to earn rewards. So now you can make smaller purchases, then you save up those rewards and you can use them to purchase larger items or use them on your next purchase. The old reward system, you used them on that order. Now they are banked, and you, like I said, they're good for a year, I believe. But you can use them on your next purchase or save them up to buy something big. It'll take us all a little bit of getting used to, but the change is I won't be handling any credit card information anymore. You'll have to, you establish an account. You set me as the demonstrator. You have to opt in to earn the rewards. Then once you do that, I'll enter your order, and then I send the order to you via email. There's a link, I guess. I haven't done this yet. This is what I've heard from Stampin' Up. And then you will click on that link and enter your payment information. You can add things to the order if you want to, and then it'll ship directly to your house. So lots of exciting changes. It'll be a little bit of a learning curve, so bear with me as I muddle my way through that. So tonight I have a fun fold to show you. It's once been around a very long time, and I just never ever got around to trying it. And so I have a little folder where I keep ideas for cards in, that I want to do. And this one was there, and it's been around a long time, and I've never done it. So I thought I would pull it out and try it out today and see how it works. Okay, so I think with that being said, I'll change the view down to my hands and we will get started. So what I'm going to be showing you today is the Drapery fold. It's this fold here. Let me show you that. And then I've got another little technique that I'll show you too, you may or may not know about. So we are going to get started here. We will need our trimmer, so I'm going to get that out. I want to make sure it's oriented the right way here. Okay. So we are going to use a piece of, hold on just a second here. Give me just a second. I guess I scratched myself and I made myself bleed just a little bit, so I didn't want to gross you out too much. So I'll have to keep an eye on that and make sure it doesn't start bleeding. Okay, so taking a piece of designer series paper, and this is 4 3/4 by 10 inches, okay? And I just make sure that the two sides kind of coordinate in colors, because as you can see here, it does show a little bit. And I debated which I wanted out on the front, but you know what? I decided to do the starfish because it was a much brighter paper. So what you want to do, first of all, like I said, this is 4 3/4 by 10. So you're going to take your piece of paper. Oh, you can't see it up here. Okay, and we are going to make 2 little marks on these short ends. I'm going to make a little mark here that's 3/4 of an inch from this side and 3/4 of an inch from this side, okay? Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to line those 2 marks up in our, let me go out a little bit, see if that works. It might be out as far as it goes. Okay, so I've got 1 tick mark here and 1 right here, and we're going to put both of those in the channel, in the where I'm cutting, and then we're going to cut along this line. Okay, and then this is going to give you enough to do 2 of these cards, okay? And if one of your, if it's directional, when you cut your paper, you want to make sure it's going the right direction and everything like that. So, starting from this end, we are going to score this here at, oh, you know what? I still need this out here. Sorry, guys. But starting from the thick end, we are going to score this here at, let me get rid of my blade so I don't cut it wrong. We're going to score it 2 inches. And don't press too hard with the scoring blade. This paper is not as heavy as cardstock. 5. 6. 8. And 9 inches. Make sure I'm right here. Hold on. There we go. Now I'm going to tell you, when you're looking for this, there's lots of different ways to do this fold with different measurements and different layouts. So go look around. This is just one that I picked. Hold on here. I got to wake my computer up. It went to sleep here. Okay. So we are going to start. Let me get my bone folder here. And we're going to do an accordion fold, okay? On those score lines. And you'll see that it's starting to show up here. The beauty of this fold. And right there. Okay. And so you can see that you can see the other side of your paper, but not too much. And I think that this looks okay. I wasn't sure how I was going to like these starfish on this side, but I decided to go with it. Okay. Let me see. Making sure. Let's try and get my, there we, okay. Yeah. Sorry guys, I can't make a decision today. Okay, then what I'm going to do, just to kind of help this lay down, and so it is, I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive here. To help those lay down, okay? And then I'm going to put adhesive on the back too. I have a piece of basic white cardstock. This one is our normal 4 by 5 1/4. Okay, and we're going to put this right. You know what? Before I do that, sorry guys, we're gonna stamp first, because if I mess this up, I want to be able to flip it over. So we are going to stamp first. Now here's where my other technique came in. I decided to go ahead and use this One More Year stamp set, and I really like this font, but I just want the happy birthday. I didn't want the now back to me. So you can ink that up. Because this is a red rubber stamp, you can take your Stampin' Right marker, ink up just the part you want to color, and you can stamp. If you look on this one, this was the Summer Splash. It's not exactly solid, but you know what? It's okay. I kind of like it that way. I was playing around with some other colors. This one is my Blackberry Bliss Stampin' Right marker, and it was nice and juicy, and it went on very solid. This is the Calypso Coral, which I'm going to use, and again, it's got a little more of that variegated, but I'm okay with that. And I just think it adds another level of interest to it. So what you do is you're going to color in the happy birthday, or whatever part of the sentiment. For our purposes, it's the happy birthday. You're going to use the brush end. There's a brush end, and there's a narrow point end. You're going to use the brush end. You are going to use the side of your brush. Don't use the points, okay? Don't use the point. You will break that brush end down. And you are going to ink up your stamp with your Stampin' Right marker. So now a nice juicy marker helps. And this doesn't really work well on photopolymer, and it doesn't work with the alcohol markers with our blends. This is the combination you need: the red rubber stamp and the Stampin' Right marker. You've got that all covered. Good. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to blow on it. We call this huffing. Let me do this here. You could probably hear me. And I just was breathing on it really kind of heavy. There we go. Not bad. Not bad at all. And what that does is it reactivates this ink so that you can stamp it. Because, you know, as I'm going over it, the ink is starting to dry as I'm coloring in the ink, or coloring the sentiment. Now I can put this down. See, had I put this down and then screwed up this stamping, I would have been, oops, you know what I want to do? Somehow I'm off just a little bit of, it's just a little bit long, and I want to trim this off so it's not so long. So hold on a sec. Let me take this off. And just do a nice steady pull. It'll come off. I don't know how it came to be a little bit off, but okay, let me move. It's just I'm right-handed, it's easier. Okay, we're gonna do this again here. How my folds are off. This one I had no problem doing. Okay, so there we go. Oh, I want to put a little bit of adhesive right there on that. Now I'm going to trim this edge up here. Okay. I had not planned to have to do this, but it is what it is. There we go. It's not quite pointy at the bottom right there, but I'm okay with that. You know. Okay, now I want to put some ribbon on here. We need to hide this. If you don't have ribbon, you could use a strip of cardstock in a coordinating color. And I can't decide which I'm going to do. I am using a piece of Calypso Coral, 8.5 by 5.5, folded in half. And that is going to be my card base. So I don't have any Calypso Coral ribbon. So I pulled this ribbon out of my drawer, which is the Petal Pink and White 1/4 inch diagonal trim combo pack. It doesn't give me enough. Had I thought ahead of time, I could have colored this. I could have dyed this. I've dyed ribbon before. Well, white's okay. Or I could pull a color out of here. And this is this Summer Splash? Yeah, this is Summer Splash. This cardstock, or this designer series paper I'm using, is the Friends of the Ocean paper. Berry Burst, Calypso Coral, Lemon Lime Twist, Mellow Mambo, Pumpkin Pie, and Summer Splash. And you can see some of the Summer Splash starfish in these designs. I love the colors in this. So you know what? Maybe we're going to go a little bold here. And maybe I just feel like this white doesn't have enough, you know, color contrast. So I think I'm going to do this. I think that Calypso Coral and Summer Splash look nice together. They're in the paper together, so why wouldn't they look good on here? So we are going to this. Let me get my glue dots. I love glue dots. And then we're gonna, this is kind of my makeshift bow. Here we go. I'll put this right over this like this. Go ahead and put this on my card base now. I am so ready for spring and summer to be here. So, winter's still been messing around with us here in Michigan. We had some snow flurries earlier in the week. Okay, let me cut a piece of this ribbon off here. Make my bow. I think this looks okay. I think it looks better than the white. The white was too kind of washed out. This gives it another pop of color. Now, like I said, I have dyed ribbon, I have dyed baker's twine. You need to, if you, that's something you want to do, you need to do a test run, because you know each fabric is going to accept it, the ink a little differently. I use a little re-inker in a little container of, I've used water in the past, but I think next time I'd probably use alcohol because it dries a little bit quicker. And I make sure it's fully immersed in that. And I would, and cover it up and let it set overnight. Then the next day I'd pull it out, see what it looked like color-wise. If it was color I liked, the shade I was looking for, good. If not, I'd put it back in and let it set some more, or put some more ink in there. So anyway, now we have our dot, where we have our card almost done. And then, you know, now I've changed up the color of the ribbon. I need to go get my different dots on this. Hold on a second for embellishment. Okay, so we're going to use these instead, which is fine because they're almost gone. These are the 2024-2026 in color shimmer gems. Okay, I used them on here. Let's see, these are my Summer Splash here, I think. So use one down here. I'm really surprised I didn't use more of the pink the Pretty in Pink and the Petunia Pop because those are my favorite colors, but I used way more of these, all the other colors. But you know what? Go figure. So anyway, there we go. There is our Drapery fold card and your technique there. Whoops, let me see here. Technique there using the Stampin' Right marker to do your stamping on your red rubber stamps. Okay, that's all I have for tonight, everybody. I will see you next Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern for Stamping with Denise. Bye now.